I'm
Yeah,
ready.
we are live with a grand total of 0 people watching. Just perfect. Hold on, let me make sure it's been posted in the main tower so that the people in the game can watch.
They've been waiting for this all day, so.
Oh my god, I am like shaking so badly because this room is so cold.
What is that? All right, so we can just get started with who did the graphics?
I did the majority of the graphics.
All right, I like the graphics. Some of the graphics were actually better than this fucking episodes y'all were listed. How many people actually went and watched Twilight Zone episodes? Raise your hand. Okay, so 1. Ashley, you did it. Devin, you did it. And Blake, you did it. Okay, my first question, if I give you an assignment that says make a Twilight Zone episode, why is your first thing not, okay, let me watch a Twilight Zone episode? Was that no one's first thought about?
It was my first thought. I watch it on Netflix sometimes, and it's like, it takes like 20 minutes to watch an episode. And I told everybody else it was on Netflix, and no one seemed to care, so.
Ashley, why didn't you watch it? Why didn't you watch it? Do you?
I don't know. I was working on a huge project for school that's worth 50% of my grade, so I
Okay.
guess I just didn't.
I've seen you've been playing games recently on Tengage. You had a week to watch. I am a student and I understand exams that are worth a shit ton of your points. But you're telling me that I just had time to play Frooks. You're telling me you don't have time to watch a 20-minute Twilight Zone episode. It's a little bit bamboozling. Devin, why didn't you watch?
I kind of thought I understood what the series was about already.
Okay. What did you think it was about? Tell me, I'm interested. You might have understood.
I thought, from my understanding, it was kind of like Black Mirror, and that it was kind of like a kind of psychedelic kind of mystery kind of thing.
Okay.
So that's what I based the episodes I wrote off.
How many of you have watched Black Mirror? Okay. See, my thing is.
I've seen Black Mirror.
Okay, Black Mirror and
That show can be so fucked up.
They have the same premise, all right? But Twilight Zone is camp, and it's like camp classic television horror, almost in a sense like the first modern television popular show that involved like horror aspects of the genre. As opposed to, let's just talk about the first season of Black Mirror. It starts out with a fucking prime minister having to fuck a pig. And it just gets progressively fucked. Twilight Zone and Black Mirror do not play into the same audience or demographic. And that's where I feel like y'all went wrong, because I'm a little bit bamboozled about how we have a 20-minute Twilight episode with a girl getting raped 10 times in it. Also, I just felt like some of the let's just go through the episodes and I'll read them off. I'll read the summary. I'm not going to read the synopsis because we don't have time for that. When Justin Clark awakes in the hospital bed, surrounded by sounds of his weeping family, all he wants to do is move. However, his eyelids remain shut. His body statue-like on his hospital bed. All Justin desires is to speak, walk, and see, but his body is convinced he has nowhere to be. Severe car accident, essentially. She escaped unharmed. So I just don't understand, essentially, whose eyes are we gonna see that episode through? The person in the bed that can't move or see or speak or talk? Because if we see it through his eyes, that's just my thing about that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wrote that episode, and I watched an episode of The Twilight Zone before I wrote that. And it was about a man who was afraid of flying, and he was having all these delusions while he was on a plane. And that was from a third-person camera point of view, so I thought that would be an acceptable way to go about.
Well, my thing is, it isn't acceptable, but when you're trying to convey the hysteria of one person stuck on a bed with his life rotating around him and not being able to function, That doesn't seem, from my perspective, it sounds like, if I'm as a viewer, it just seems like something you see every day on Grey's Anatomy. I feel like if you maybe had shown it through his eyes, that could have been real good. If you have a 20-minute story, not that long, through the eyes of a fixed person, that their view throughout the whole episode wouldn't change. There'd be no change of scenery and people coming in and out. I feel like that might have helped. So apparently there were episodes that didn't get picked, right?
That's correct.
Okay. The Big Brother one, that's creepy. Mason Patterson has just been hired by the NSA and had acquired a low-paying job. Basically, he's Homeland Security people, and he's supposed to keep an eye on suspicious people. He starts being a creep and fucking starts stalking a girl in his job. Is correct? Is that the basic assumption? Okay. Yeah. That's good. A little bit long. Your synopsis is 20 minutes. You have to, with Twilight Zone, you really don't have a lot of time to delve into character development. So it like has to be strong from the point. That's okay. How about this? I'll talk, the Debt Collector. Who did that one?
Becca did that one.
Okay, maybe I should have brought Becca in because that was one of the weaker ones, but I didn't, so that one made no sense. It sounded like his bedroom door was shut by all the debt collection letters. That sounds like the opening fucking 15 minutes of Harry Potter, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I first thought too when I read that.
So I'll get to questions later. I know y'all are just kind of sitting here listening to me. The choice one, the abortion one, who did that one?
That was Becca as well.
All right, maybe I was right and that's in here because that's one of your better ones. I like that one. The Secret, who did that one?
That was me.
Okay, so I just don't know. Okay, so if this is Twilight Zone or what is the, I just don't know I like it. I like the political statement it makes, but I'm just not sure, like, about, it just seems more like a social commentary on homophobia other than like a actual, the Twilight Zone is supposed to leave you unnerved at the end of it. It's supposed to make you feel like creeped out in a weird way. It just doesn't creep me out. I feel like more of it was like a drama show. Like,
can I explain what like the part about it was gonna be twisted?
Yes.
So basically at the end of the synopsis, it like says like, will karma like strike the person who like released the video or leaked the video? So it's basically like the person who was trying to like ruin his life, and whoever it was gonna be, that was gonna be like the twist at the ending, the dark twist.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if you're gonna, okay, my thing is, if you're gonna write a synopsis, I should not have to be left hanging. Now, if it was a summary, that's different. Synopsis covers the whole plot of the thing. So that's why when I made that critique, when I read the synopsis, that made it seem like the end of the episode. Who did the Into the Weeds one?
I did that one.
I have very mixed feelings about that one. I like the whole sense of this drug so the whole premise was this guy was a raging stoner pothead and his girlfriend gave him the ability to see into the future. He sees into the future and realizes that people that smoke pot, weeds, are trying to like plant seeds in them and take them over. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I did not miss that. Okay. That is rather complex. I do like it. It has little shop of horror aspects. I like the fact that, and this may seem like a unfair critique because we are talking about the fucking Twilight Zone, and I'm about to tell you something isn't realistic in the Twilight Zone. I like the fact of the weed like taking over people. I wish you could have seen like there would have been some indication like the pandemic was not happening in the future. It was happening like fast. To me, it seems like he kind of sees this in the far off apocalyptic future. And also it felt for Twilight Zone episodes, as unrealistic as they are, the plots are almost never contrived. And the plot of his girlfriend magically like, oh, see into the future
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah.
is a little bit contrived. So there was that. And then we need to go to, hold on, let's keep going down. Episode 8, the closet. So y'all left it for the end. I'm just gonna read this plot synopsis out for the fucking viewers that are reading. Diana met this guy online. His name was Frank. He seemed like a nice guy. They would text daily. She soon found out that he lived only a few blocks away, so they decided to meet for coffee. It went all well, and they had a good time. A few weeks later, they started dating. He suggests moving in with her since his house was a whole lot bigger than hers. She agreed to it. She was happy to get out of her house. After a month or two, things took a dangerous turn. She noticed how his search history had a lot about how to get into prostitution. She confronted him about it, but he just beat her. First of all, that is a rather fucking dramatic climax. No, just out of nowhere, he's beating her. And the way this episode was set up, this would have had to happen within the first 10 minutes. So within 5 minutes of me turning on Twilight Zone, which is a family show, I used to watch it as a kid. I am watching a man beat a woman. Okay, so we got that. He just beat her. He threw her in the closet and locked her in there. I don't know what closet. 3 men came over that night. He unlocked the closet and the 3 men raped her. Frank earned $200 from that alone. $200. This guy charged 3 guys. He only collected $200 for one girl being fucked by 3. That is bad. That is, even if sex and prostitution and sex trafficking was legal and there was a market for it, you are drastically underselling your. You could make so much money in only 200. This continued every night, sometimes with over 10 men a night. Will she be able to get herself out of this mess? In Twilight Zone, usually a lot of the times people are offered choices, and if they make the right choices, stuff isn't as bad for them as a character. Sometimes the character walks into it already dead or just fucked on principle. 13 guys are raping this girl in a closet. Will she ever get out of it? Even if she survives, the emotional trauma from that alone, from one guy raping her, let alone 3 on one night, let alone 10, is a little bit. So as a Black Mirror episode, shit would have been lit. It would have been lit. It would have been totally acceptable because that's the acceptability of Black Mirror. Okay. So we have the problems with the episode. It seems to me that almost everyone has a bad-ish kind of episode. Okay, so break me down on what happened and what happened for the first 3 days before anyone was project manager. Was there any work going on?
Wait, Josh, my phone's gonna die. Can I switch devices?
Yes, you can. Just be fast. Are you about to do you have to get off and come back on?
Yeah.
All right, well, you better hope no one talks shit about you, girl. While you're gone. But yeah, you can swap. I won't do anything until I at least see that you're back. But you try to do as fast as possible because I don't want this to fucking go on forever. Blake, you had your hand raised. What were you gonna say?
So basically, me, Becca, and Ashley all agreed that if you're already project manager, somebody else can step up.
All right.
And nobody stepped up for the first 3 days between Devin and Connor. So after 3 days, somebody finally stepped up as project manager.
Okay, so 3 days, no one stepped up, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And then those 3 days,
because-
out of the people where no one stepped up, not a single one of you watched the Twilight Zone episode, and you had over 72 hours to do it. Is that
Oh my
right?
god, get them.
I kind of researched it, but I didn't actually watch an episode.
Okay. Devin, why didn't you step up?
Let me look and see what happened.
All right, while he's looking and seeing Connor.
Yes.
Inform me. Why? So what happened? Why 3 days? Why 3 days of hesitation?
Okay, so first off, everyone keeps saying it was 3 days. We got in the chat on around midnight of Friday morning, and I was project manager by Saturday at around 3 o'clock. So it was not 3 days. I don't know where this number keeps coming from. But I come on the chat and I'm actually at work when I'm gonna go on. And I read over the thing, and I was kind of hoping that somebody else would take it just because creepy stuff isn't really my strong suit, I wouldn't say, even though, I have seen the show and I am like a fan of like Stephen King novels and stuff like that. I was hoping that somebody else would take it, but when I saw that nobody else had any like desire at all to take it, and that me and Deborah were the only people to not yet, I know that writing is one of my stronger points, so I decided that I would take it, and after that,
Okay.
all the fun
Okay,
stuff
so
happened.
now my question is, did anyone feel like, did everyone think this was going to be a task they did not do well in? And you can be honest. Was everyone a little bit nervous?
I didn't think I would. I didn't think I would do great.
Well, I mean, I'm happy with the task. I mean, one team did good, so it's not the task fault that it.
No, it's not. But I mean,
Creator error.
people...
No, I'm just honestly asking if no one felt like they on this team felt like they would be would excel in the task. Because the reason why I'm asking that is if you feel like you're gonna do well, like okay, even though I've like, there is nothing holding you. I would not be mad if you go up and go into a team and you're like, I've already been project manager before. I'll be project manager again. I'll do it 3 times. Like, we are getting down to the point to where everyone is, there's a reason everyone's still here. Because if there wasn't, they'd be gone by now. So really, if I saw this and I had been a project manager, I'd be like, well, fuck it. No one wants to take it. I'll take it and I'll fucking try to win so that if I win, I just don't see, I see out of, my biggest thing is out of 4 of you. And I know that you all don't have it, just like a lack of motivation, which is a little bit hard for me to understand because in some weeks you'll be so motivated and you'll print out these fucking gorgeous ass, long ass, complicated ass fucking documents that look like they took over 3 to 4, 5 hours to create. But then we get to a task that's rather simple and to where the other team provided a lot less info than y'all did, a lot less work went into it. And I said it was more idea based. And I'm just a little bit confused how a week ago y'all had all this time to do shit and now we can't watch 20-minute episodes. Because I'm just gonna and the reason why I'm saying this is the upcoming tasks that I have planned are intensive, are starting to be more time intensive, and they are going to be stuff where if you don't do the research behind what I'm asking you to do, you're not going to understand the concept enough to do the project. Okay. That being said, Ashley, who would you fire?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, barely.
Okay. Sorry, my laptop's mic is not good at all. Personally, I would fire Connor because I feel like him being a project manager was kind of messy, and I know some people on this team agree with me.
So you believe I should fire Connor because he was project manager and the task lost? And so ultimately, is that what you're saying? I'm just trying to make sure.
No, I'm saying like not because we lost, but I'm saying because like when he was a project manager, some of the stuff was like kind of messy. Like
what was messy?
He wasn't like directly giving us stuff. Like we didn't get like our stuff to do until like Monday or Tuesday or something like that.
Well, you can't.
Can I say something?
You can't say, well, we got our stuff late, and also say, well, he didn't step up to the plate for 3 days, because then naturally it's going to be late. Connor, my question is, and before you comment, answer my question, please.
Yeah.
How did you delegate work?
So right after we started, within the 10 minutes that I took the role, I immediately told everyone to think about what scared them personally and what they found to be interesting or creepy or anything. and we started to put together a list of things we could do for the write-ups for the episodes. And then Becca and I specifically did some research on a website with political issues, because on the Wikipedia page for the Twilight Zone, it said that it might like to go into social and political issues in the episodes. Then we made a long list of political issues. Then I told everyone to pick 2 things from the list and do write-ups of those 2 things. That would give us 10 episodes, and we would cut the bottom 2 episodes and put the 8 that we liked the best forward. I did have some creative ideas along the way, and I feel like they were not well received by the people on my team. Like, I brought up something really simple which you enjoyed, like making the graphics, and people just started to say that I was disorganized and that I was a messy project manager. But that's part of this game, is knowing what works and what doesn't work, and thinking of something and being willing to try it. But people just seem to not understand that on this team.
What did you cut? I'm interested.
Oh, I cut one of Ashley's stories because listen, Ashley, I don't hate you as a person, but that story was very poor. It was just about an alcoholic, and he was addicted to drinking, obviously. And the end of the story was just, will Mark ever overcome his addiction? There was no creepy aspect to it at all. There was no, any
What was
type
the
of
second
thing that
thing
would
you
be on the
cut?
Twilight Zone. The second thing I cut was one of Blake's, and it was called, it was something about some girl being on a game show, and she won a ton of money, and then she didn't pay taxes on it, and then she got taken to jail, which I thought was too similar to the debt collector one. So I cut that one so we would have a wider variety of episodes.
Devin.
Mm-hmm.
So like for his delegation, like did it go out that way? Was that how tasks were doled out?
From my understanding, it was kind of like, it was kind of like first we came up with ideas, and then we had to write our own episodes, and then like at first it was like something we find creepy, and then all of a sudden it was something about modern issues. So personally, I didn't write my episodes till I knew exactly what we were doing.
I can just...
It's a creepy twist on a modern issue. That's what the Wikipedia said, and we made that very clear. So
we're gonna scroll back. Oh, you did a lot of typing. I was gonna say we're gonna scroll back up and reading the chat. Y'all are arguing on Wednesday.
Yep.
We're arguing?
Not arguing, but there seems to be discourse amongst your team before the challenges. There's been, okay, Becca says there's been a lack of directions. Asking for the graphics before it's G-Day. You said that people have been active, so you took a while to get feedback. I have this is anger, I have my concerns. So make me angry. However, if I make a team appreciate you. So my thing is, I'm at the fucking point in this show where should I fire people just for doing a shitty job? Should I fire the project manager for maybe not allocating their resources wisely? Or should I fire people because the task I said at the beginning of the week, this is a very idea-oriented task, and some of y'all didn't give me, some of y'all's ideas flopped. So I'm gonna do this. Blake, who should I fire? Give me an honest answer, because my thing is Ashley's episode was horrid. Connor was a losing project manager. Ashley's been the losing project manager before. Devin sometimes seems inactive, but he's not inactive. So it's like hard to gauge where he's...
Wait, can I say something about me right now? Okay, so I think, okay, so the beginning of this week, I'll admit, was really hard for me because I had a lot going on.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I wasn't very active in the beginning. And if it was a different week, I would have stepped up. But by the time I knew what the task was, by the time I was like at my computer, it was already taken.
Okay.
So I do feel kind of bad for not being as active. But on that note, I do feel like a lot of the times I suggested things. Like at one point I was like, hey, let's set up a time where we can go through our ideas, and it got ignored. So I don't think it's completely...
Did y'all have any calls?
I did put in the chat, and I asked people what time they could go on call, And the only person to ever answer me was Becca, and I think Ashley answered me once, and I was flat out ignored every other time. So I just had to go it alone, pretty much.
Can I answer my question now?
Yes, Blake.
Okay. So between two, like, I think it's between like two people on who I would, because like from weeks beforehand, I've heard that Devin isn't the most active in every task, but I don't know if that's true because this is the first time I've worked with Devin. And then, in my opinion, every single week it seems to be like a repetition from Connor. Like he like has like a lack of communication. Like other weeks, like he barely talks in the chat. Like he barely talks to anybody. He just does what he's told. Like other people are communicating in the chats. Like this is in previous tasks too. Like other people are communicating, asking what else they can do. He just does what he's told, and then he doesn't do any, like, he barely speaks. Like, you can go back and look at other tasks. Everybody's talking in the chats, and then you see a lack of communication from Connor. If you're in the business industry and you don't talk, then you're probably going to get cut.
Okay.
Josh, can I say something? Can I put in my opinion?
Yes.
So despite the, beef that I have with Blake, he's actually not my first choice to go tonight, believe it or not. I feel like you should fire Ashley tonight. And I mean, Ashley has been telling me, she had been telling me for a while that she was going to get her episodes in. It was originally she was going to get them in Wednesday afternoon, then it was Wednesday night. Then it was this morning, and I had to come home at school. I got home at 3 o'clock, and I was at 4 o'clock still waiting for her episodes. And you would think that with that much time for you to work on them, they would be episodes that I could easily put into the script. But I had to cut one of them, and the other one was extremely poor. And I just feel like she was not present. She did not help me contribute to this. And I'm so agitated that people are putting this on me because I spent so long proofreading these episodes, writing my episodes, doing these graphics, making our team logo, and everyone just wants to pile on me because it's easy and it's convenient for everybody else. Because I don't think these people think I should go home, to be honest with you. But
luckily
I just feel like that's what they think is easy.
Connor, you didn't give us any direction till like originally
Blake,
the due date was
Blake.
Originally it was. Let me.
Okay, we're just gonna end this. I'll put an end to all of this for everyone. I'm gonna say since those two, everyone seems to think should be between Ashley and Connor, and no one really mentioned Devin or Blake. I'm gonna let Devin and Blake go, but I would like to also say if you are going to complain about a lack of direction and no one stepping up, it is your project too. And in the real world, if someone isn't stepping up, the rest of the team doesn't just sit there and not step up as well. So just in the future, remember that if it were me and I had to do something and I felt like the fucking leader was doing a shitty ass, I'd fucking be like, okay, well, I'll do it my damn self. I'll sit on my own computer and submit it. But at the same time, if you're the leader, you should be providing enough direction. But Devin and Blake, you can leave. You're safe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Ashley, you've been silent. You look kind of pouty. Okay, so now is your chance to, I would guess, respond to Connor's criticisms.
Okay, so when he was talking about the calls, I did respond to the calls. I even asked earlier today, do you maybe want to go on call like around 4:20 and discuss like which episode should be cut? That call never happened, but I did ask about it.
Actually, that call didn't happen because I was editing your episode that you sent me at 4 o'clock. I was more than happy to go on call with anybody anytime. I've said it a million times to a million different people. I'll work with anyone who's here and anyone who wants to work with me. And if you're not here, and if I'm too busy throwing something together at the very last second because nobody wants to submit, then that's the best I can do. So, I'm sorry.
Ashley, do you have anything else?
Okay, well, I mean, I submitted the main, the two.
Speak up. Pull the thing to your mouth again a little bit. Thank you.
I sent in the 2 to 3 sentence summary sometime last night after I got home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I didn't get like any criticism on it. I expected like, okay, like somebody to be like, okay, like if they saw something wrong, but nobody did that, so I assumed it was fine. I did my episodes. Connor actually said that my episode was good, and if he wanted it changed, he could have asked me. We still had some time. I would have been willing to edit it if he asked me, but no, he just said it was good and he'll add it in.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, but after I just respond real fast.
Okay, so let me just say right now that you can't expect me to reconstruct 2 episodes when you send them to me at 4:25 and it's due at 5 o'clock. You had all week to do this, and you're sending it to me now, and these episodes are still very, very subpar. So I don't like I can't write all 8 episodes myself, as much as I really did try to do a lot for this team, but even like your 2 to 3 sentence summaries were just like there's it's not like the Twilight Zone. It's like he said, it's like a drama. It's like a documentary almost.
All right,
And
I'm
the
going to
synopsis.
put an end to this. At the end of it all, honestly, why I'm going to fire a person, it may seem petty, but it's not petty in my mind. But Ashley, you're going to be fired because you didn't even watch a Twilight Zone episode. So that is how that goes. If I give you a task to my cast now that because it's drawn on so long, only my cast is watching. If I give you a task that involves watching fucking and are making a TV show around a TV show, watch the TV show, because if you fail and you hadn't watched the TV show, you didn't even try to educate yourself to make a difference. I would also say, Connor, be careful because it's a broken record. I hear on repeat with all the other cast members, and I give people the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think cast members are out to get you just because they're out to get you. So I don't want to hear the same broken record because I get tired of old songs. With that, it's over. Good luck. Your challenge will be posted later tonight. Well, not later tonight, tomorrow, because it takes a lot of time. You will have 2 weeks. I also announced that after I give out the person that has immunity, since we're having a problem with work being doled out in big teams, I've decided the next task is going to be 5 teams of 2. So you'll be working in pairs. That way I'll know who doesn't do what and who's exactly responsible for whatever catastrophes get presented. With that, that's over. This is good. Everyone leave.